The HP Omen Transcend 16. Big laptop, crazy specs, but does it live up to it? Well, let's talk about it. Yo, what up YouTube? Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I do hope that you find this helpful. So what I want to do today is just, go through the specs, my thoughts on the laptop, using it for a short time. I'm going to try to save you guys some time, so I'm just going to be having the benchmarks scrolling down across the bottom. So if you see something you're interested in, just go ahead and stop, pause the video, and take a look at that. For the gaming benchmarks, I kind of went with mostly just some free synthetic benchmarks. I did throw Cyberpunk in there, but I figured that way, if the games I benchmark aren't the games you play, well, then there may be some confusion there. Whereas synthetic benchmarks, you can download these for free yourself and test your computer, whatever happens to be, against the numbers you see here and help you decide if this is a worthwhile upgrade for you. So, also, I'll have links down in the show notes for these, of course. Best Buy is where I got this. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll have some links there as well for affiliate links. So if you want to pick this up, please consider using those links. It helps me out a little bit, doesn't cost you anything else. And also, maybe if you're just a far more frugal and wise man with your money than I am, and you say, you know what, I'll wait till Black Friday and pick this up on a deal. Well, then in the meantime, consider going to buy your significant other something nice with the money you saved. Take them out on a date. Either way, you use that affiliate link, small portion comes to the channel, and that helps us out. And I would be certainly grateful for that. So what are the specs here with this HP Omen Transcend 16? Obviously, 16-inch laptop. We'll discuss the screen here first. 16-inch screen. It's a 2K resolution, so it's that 2860 by 1600 because it's 16 by 10 aspect ratio. Mini LED screen, which if you've never seen a mini LED screen personally, they're gorgeous. I know OLED is sort of all the rage, but mini LED is quite nice. It claims to go up to 1180 nits of brightness, and it covers 100% of the DCI-P color gamut. So big, beautiful screen. It has 240 hertz refresh rate with a 5 millisecond response time, which is quite good for such a lovely looking screen. And then when you get into the internal components here, it's almost laughable and comical to say. It has an i9 13900HX, which is a 24 core, 32 thread CPU, which is bananas to stuff into a laptop. So it's got CPUs cores for days. It does come with also 36 megabytes of L3 cache, which is nice. The GPU in here is the RTX 4070. This is 130 watt 4070 with 8 gigabytes of VRAM. This model has 16 gigabytes of DDR5 memory in there. It does offer 2 upgradable RAM slots, but I think you can only place up to 32 gigs in here, unless I'm mistaken. But very easy to access. The back plate's easy to take off, just 6 screws, and you can get in there and upgrade your RAM if you choose to. It does only have one M.2 slot, unless I'm blind and I just missed it. Please let me know. But it does have one M.2 slot. It has a fast M.2 in it already. Mine has a 1 terabyte, but you can upgrade it to 2 terabytes if you choose to. And what else about this thing? It has Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, which is nice. And the Wi-Fi card is removable and upgradable. So if you want to keep this for many years, you can upgrade that down the road if you need to. And as far as I/O on here and the port selection, I think it's pretty nice. It's got 2 USB-A ports. They're both 5 gigabit ports. Has HDMI 2.1. Does have an RJ45 connector, so you can just hook up to your Ethernet. And has 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports and the headphone microphone combo jack on there, which is pretty nice. So it has plenty of connectivity, and I do like that it puts some of the ports on the back. You know, that a lot of modern laptops, especially high-end ones, are doing stuff like that, but it is nice to see. I do appreciate that. And, you know, it does help clear out some of the clutter a little bit there. So specs on this thing are crazy. You know, it's, again, 24 core CPU in a laptop is unbelievable. So, as far as my overall thoughts on the laptop, you know, it comes in at $2,500 roughly when you consider taxes. So that may vary a little bit based on where you live. But for that money, I think it's a good value, you know, to get a similarly spec'd laptop in something from like the Razer lineup. You know, you're going to be spending probably upwards of $800 to $1,000 more. And a lot of that, I think, is going to be money spent on stuff you don't really need to care about quite so much, you know, because the build quality of this thing is quite nice. You know, it kind of has that sort of magnesium alloy type body to it. So it feels nice. It's not overly rigid. You know, it's not that, you know, aluminum chassis type thing like a MacBook or a Razer. But by and large, I would assume most people that are going to be using this, it's going to be generally a desktop replacement where it's going to sit on a table and you're not going to be taking it too many places. Unless you're maybe the last group of friends alive that still hook up LAN parties, in which case I think it will still hold up well there. The hinge on this thing is, you know, it does have a little bit of, you know, bounce to it, but it's nothing crazy. Again, if this is going to be sitting on your desk, you're not going to notice anything with build quality being sort of an issue there. But trackpad, very big. It kind of has that textured glass top to it. So it's not overly smooth, but it's very responsive. The clicks are nice. And the keyboard, I'm a big fan of the keyboard. It sort of has the same feel to the keyboard as my Asus G14. Which I'm a big fan of. The keys are well spaced. They're not overly like clicky. They kind of got a little bit of a mush, but it's a nice mush if it makes any sense. I enjoy typing on this laptop just like I enjoy typing on my G14. And then obviously the look of the laptop, very subjective. I'm a fan of the all white laptop. I think it looks very modern and nice. And again, it hides the fingerprints and stuff, whereas a Razer Blade is not. So that is nice. It does sort of have a bit of a chin on it. You know, you can either take that or leave it. It doesn't bother me a ton. The webcam, it does have Windows facial recognition on there, which is nice. I didn't see if the webcam is, I'll have it on the screen if the webcam's 1080p or 720p. I don't really know. I don't remember what it is. But overall, build quality is nice. Usability is very nice. So I think for the money, it's a worthwhile purchase. You know, if you're a gamer, no worries here for probably quite a few years. I mean, there is no game utilizing 24 cores anytime soon, right? And an RTX 4070 is going to do well in AAA titles, I would assume, for the next couple of years. Yeah, it'd be great to have more than 8 gigs of VRAM. At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be anything that's debilitating. So I think that's very good there. And again, if you're into like content creation type stuff, I think this is a wonderful choice for you. The screen is beautiful. It's color accurate. It's big. It's 16:10 aspect ratio. So you can get a lot of work done on here if you need to. The keyboard is nice if you spend some time typing. The trackpad is responsive and accurate if you use it that way. It has plenty of ports to connect whatever you need to connect it to. So I think it gives you a lot of flexibility. I think it can handle any sort of content, productivity that you're going to use it for. And then I think it can game. Obviously, it can game. I mean, the idea, and that's why I'm not doing a lot of gaming benchmarks. You know, first off, if it plays Cyberpunk, it plays CSGO, right? Do you really need to see if it can get 400 or 450 FPS in CSGO? Maybe you do. I don't really care about that too much. Older titles, older AAA titles, you know, the Divisions, the GTA 5s, of course it's going to smash those. And I think it'll handle modern AAA titles for the next couple years easily. And then going down the road from that, you may have to adjust the settings a little bit, but I think it'll still handle those well. So I think as a total package for the price, it is expensive, but not compared to some of its, you know, other brands, the razors, those sorts of things. I think you'll pay a lot more for those, and you're paying for things you don't necessarily need. I think there's things I forgot to mention. PurKey RGB. The Omen software is very easy to use to change the RGB layout, to change your performance modes and that sort of stuff. All the productivity benchmarks were run in balanced mode, and the gaming benchmarks were run in performance mode. The battery is a 70.7 watt hour battery. I didn't do like an extended battery test because, again, I don't feel like this is going to be a laptop that you're going to be taking on the go with you for a day at the office. Gaming laptops with this sort of hardware are not going to be usable very long, regardless of the brand or the battery. It's not going to make a difference. And yeah, I think all in all, awesome package. It's ridiculous to even talk about the CPU that's in this thing. But I think if you spend the money on it, I think you'll be happy, and I think you'll be happy for many years. So I'm not going to be holding on to this. I'm going to have to send it back. But if you have questions, comments about just anything that I talked about, please let me know down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them for you. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. God bless.